That's my boy. Alright. Let's see. Well, we're all here, so I suppose, without further ado, last week, you all settled in for a good night's sleep, waiting for that moment in the morning when Laramendus and Yukikaze would go out to do the teleportation circle exchange with Nalia back in Bromdor. And you were awoken rudely in the middle of the night by rank upon rank of skeletons, led by a mummy who was wrapped in fineries and gold jewels and carried with him a staff. And he appeared to be able to destroy your Liamon's tiny hut to allow his ranks of skeletons to kill you. And you fought your way out of that one, spending spells and looking awesome as Jebel became a fire elemental and stomped his way through them like they were tissue.
To Cyrus's disappointment, as he learned that's not what he did.
And Cyrus used his heirloom given to him by his father to destroy the caster.
Raiken blew stuff up.
And Raiken blew stuff up with his thunder gun. He finally got to fully test all of the capabilities of the thunder gun.
It was great.
The thunder gun hurt me. I don't like it.
So.
I heard a lot of skeletons, though. I liked it, even though it hurt me.
You didn't say it was bad, just I didn't like it. Those two can coexist.
Yeah. So you'll notice that the map here is looking a little clean, and that's because it was uploaded before that fight. But you know that this entire area highlighted here is just awash in dismantled skeleton, charred bones scattered across the floor before you return to the cart to sleep. Miraculously, all of your animals survived. The skeletons seem to have eyes only for you.
Well, that's good.
Pardon me for a moment while I'm just moving something. Should hopefully do it. Okay. Sorry, like I said, I had to move a lot of stuff around to fix some visual issues when I was setting up the stream. Okay, now then. You are going back to sleep in the cart, I believe, although I think Yukikaze was not welcome inside since he seems to be leaking blood.
Yeah, you blood leaker.
Hold on. I can't hear Sam, he's muted.
Hold on.
Okay, I was hearing your voice behind me, but I wasn't hearing you through the speakers. I was like, what's going on? Sorry. So, I do want to know the arrangement of resting in the cart now, in or about the cart. Leah's going to insist on being inside the cart. She's going to use Prestidigitation to clean up the blood from Yukikaze. To make it nice inside again. She will cast it several times.
But that's not going to keep it from bleeding all over the thing again.
That's why he sleeps outside the cart.
What happens? I mean, I'm sleeping wherever the bleeding sword isn't.
Okay. I mean, I said this mostly to initiate or to encourage discussion, since you know, you'll want to indicate to the person who is making things not clean that you want him to do something.
So, basically, whether it's sheathed or not, it's going to bleed.
Yes, that's what you witnessed.
Yeah, you have to sleep outside the cart then.
I'm the one that opposed to the car. I don't want it ruined.
Exactly, which is why you sleep off the cart if you don't want it ruined.
I believe I already said I was sad about that and already planned on doing that. I believe I already stated that, but...
How long were...
I'm
How
sorry.
long did that...
Cupriel could keep you warm.
Hold on. Thomas is trying to ask a question, and I keep only catching part of it.
Okay, I'm gonna...
I just keep hearing, how long does... Thomas! Just say it one more time.
If you don't stop or hesitate, just do one long
Okay,
sentence.
sorry about that.
So, you were
That
asking
working
how
now?
long something happens?
Yeah, I was just asking how long the fight actually went on for.
The fight went on for like 5 rounds, I think, in total.
It's like 2 minutes.
No,
5
5 rounds
rounds
is
is like-
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
half a minute.
That was quick.
I'm not
I did
actually
not
even
feel
sure
like
it went on that long. I think it might only have been 3 rounds, and then... So it might have been 4 rounds in total, because then there was the time stop in which a bunch of things died, and then there was
So-
only 1 round after that.
So 4 for you guys and 8 for me.
So yeah, it was like...
Okay, so Jebel is kind of pacing around the place, looking for something.
Remember taking 2 shots.
Well, I took a shot, and then I had to
remember
put my
that,
stuff on.
Vendar shot his gun at the beginning, so that was the first round.
I shot the 3. I forgot about the gunshot.
Right,
I
and then he
took
fired his
the-
bow only twice, then... Yeah, that would be 3 rounds, which would mean that the whole thing was like 18 seconds. Because it's 6 seconds per round.
So regardless of very, very short amount of time.
Yeah, fights, so that's the thing, is that even though fights take a really long time out of game to resolve, like, per session, especially with this many people in them, they represent, especially the more people you get, the longer a fight takes to do for game-wise, but the less time it represents inside of the game. So, the whole fight was only like 18 seconds. It was like a minute of the guy marching his soldiers in and then talking at you, and then 18 seconds of actual action as things exploded, and then there was a wall of fire, and then there was a fire elemental, and then all of a sudden there were no more skeletons.
He just probably like start talking and then be like, "What? What? Keep talking. What's going on here? Everything's just blowing up."
It's how we do.
It was an impressive display of force, yes. Alright, so. I've only done that twice, Sam. I've only given them Dispel Magic twice. It's always at times where...
How many times have we been attacked at night, though?
Twice.
Also, does Sam know he's still muted? Because I only heard him through your mic.
I think he wanted to yell that at me.
Also, I can't eat this on my bed.
Oh.
It's not gonna work well.
That's fair.
So if there's anything that, like, because I can be setting up for, if there's anything that's going on before we're leaving, or Yukikaze is...
I mostly was trying to figure out where he was resting for the next couple hours until it was time for you to do that, and then I was just gonna go right into it.
Okay, I can
Well-
respond. I think they can hear me.
They can hear you, but you can't hear them, which makes things a little
So
tough.
you'll need to just like convey to me so that there's not an echo because we can't have it come out of the speaker.
Yeah, oh,
I
that's
should probably
frustrating.
also turn this off.
No, I like that.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's hot.
yeah.
So,
it's,
I know.
what you guys will see then?
What we
I'm
see.
listening.
I'm gonna be in the looking at the map. I'm gonna be in the corner, against the wall where the entrance is. And whatever that-
Which entrance exactly? This one over here?
by the statue. I'm gonna be by the statue. No, all the
he
way to
says
the
he's
right.
reading
All the way
map
right.
Over by the door. What?
What? I'm not reading no map. I'm all the way to the right. You asked me where I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna rest all the way to the right.
Over here.
Not. I said on the wall of the entrance wall.
Oh, that's why I was asking which entrance you meant.
I said the entrance, not the doors to other areas.
Alright, fine. Is that where you want to be?
Yeah, and I want to like scoop up some sand and kind of make a path in the sand to try to direct the blood away from me. And I'm gonna set the sword at my feet and have it touching my foot, and I'm gonna sleep like that.
A big pile of sand is gonna do wonders for soaking up the blood.
Well,
That's what sand is
making.
for.
I'm making a barrier to some extent and trying to get the flow away from me while I sleep, and have my foot touching it so it doesn't reappear on my waist.
All right. We'll say that you can create a little pedestal of sand to rest the blade on, with a trough leading away, made of sand, and you can just lay your feet on top of it. That'll probably be more secure about it not getting away from you.
Yes.
Okay. And it does continue to leak blood out from the sheath, which begins to, of course, soak into the sand.
Yeah. Just trying to minimize. I know I can't stop it, but I'm gonna try to minimize it.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Is everybody else, alright with their accommodations? Larmendus, are you going to be in the cart? Okay. Are you going to be inside the cart?
Me? Probably, yeah. I don't see any reason not to be.
Okay. And then the last question would be, are you going to set up another tiny hut?
No.
Okay.
Too much magic.
Huh?
Too much magic?
I mentioned that people would see Jebel looking for something.
Do we see what the something is, or just, like...
I think we just see him trying to find something.
Do you
I mean, he might
eventually
look
find
a
it?
bit
Do you
at-
need any assistance?
Sorry?
Larmendus asked if you needed assistance.
Wait, are you looking at something, or are you looking for something?
4.
For. Then, yeah, my question stands. Do you need any assistance with anything? You should get your rest.
Have you seen my squirrel?
You had a squirrel?
Do I know?
Squirrel.
Oh yeah, devil. Forgot. I need something after.
I don't think so. I think
A
I think-
squirrel?
I think the primary person who saw it was Leah, who would have said, "You mean the squirrel named Jebel?"
I mean, I saw it.
There's a
I remember
squirrel named
commenting on
Jebel and a gnome named Jebel.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't talk to the squirrel. It's kind of weird.
Leah just shrugs and says, "Look, I said hi to the squirrel once, and it told me its name was Jebel."
Well, that makes a lot
Are
of
there no
sense.
tracks
No.
in the sand?
Like gnome, like squirrel.
No, I don't know where he's gone. This is unusual.
Was he with you before the fight?
I think so. I mean, the last while has been really exciting, so it's hard to keep track.
Was
He
he
might have
on you
drowned in the
during
blood.
fight?
Which one?
Was he on you during the fight?
I don't think so. No.
So, not likely he got roasted when you turned into the flame elemental.
No, I think he was missing before that.
Perhaps the thunder gun scared it?
Maybe.
Did worse.
Where exactly, Jebel, are you looking around for it? Are you checking pockets, or are you checking the chest? Like, what types of areas are you looking in?
I'm kind of looking around the cart, under the cart.
He seems rather distraught looking for this animal that you've only seen once or twice yourselves.
Perhaps he went to hide because of the commotion, and he will come back when he feels safe. Again, you should probably rest.
Well, that's probably best course of action. Yeah. Okay. And Jebel's going to climb into the back of the wagon now.
Okay. We'll just do this. Put you back here with Cyrus. Alright. And you go back to sleep?
Eventually.
Okay. Everybody else? Yes, resting?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well then. Things are going to pass uneventfully for the next several hours. Lara, you're still conscious of things, right?
This was during my watch.
This was during your watch, so you are. I will say that you recognize, due to your passive perception, that odd thrumming in the stones is still going on.
That's disconcerting.
It appeared to resolve into the footsteps of the skeletons, but it's still going on now, so that must have just been a coincidence.
Or, there's a lot more of them.
I will say that before the end of your watch, which is in half an hour, that will have stopped.
Okay. I will inform you because I wake him up for watch. Or not for his watch, because he's not watching. Leah's watching, I think.
I think she was after you.
So we can pick somebody else for that watch if you want, since she's not here.
I can roll for her. I have her stats.
That's true.
He's the DM.
It's all good.
It's all ooh goo.
Oh, I hope not.
It is definitely not.
It's definitely not.
I most certainly will not. Okay. I will say that by the time you go to get Leah up, it does stop.
Okay. I will inform her of that, along with the information that the stomping or the beating, the drum sounds seem to have been the steps of the skeletons that were coming at us, but they continued afterwards.
I mean, she will, as she wakes up for her watch, she takes in this information and goes, I don't know exactly what that means. If it stopped, that's a good thing, right?
It means that no more are probably marching.
So yeah, that's a good thing, right?
That depends where they have stopped marching.
Well, hopefully it's far away from here.
We will probably need to go through it. Stay well.
Yeah.
Go and get Yukikaze.
Okay. She just seems a little, like, flustered. Like this is more than she wanted to deal with upon waking up.
I hand her one of the walkie-talkies.
Finally remembered.
Yukikaze and I are going out to make the transfer with Nalia. We're taking one of these. If anything happens, let us know.
She puts it up to her mouth and presses the button.
I have the cup in the other room. I didn't think we were going to use it.
She puts the box up to her mouth, presses the button, and speaks into it, and her voice crackles out the box in your hand. Says, "Okay, whatever you say."
I nod. And then get Yukikaze.
She kind of marvels at it for a moment and says, "Can you hear me now?"
Yes.
Cool. She goes about her watch.
I did not say that into the walkie-talkie. I just said it.
I noticed. You're supposed to use the box there.
It's really weird with this echo.
So you go and get Yukikaze up. You find Yukikaze is leaned up against the base of the statue in the southeastern corner of the room. And you see that his feet are laid across the sheathed sword. And it is sunk rather deeply into a mound of wet red sand. His heels
Avoiding
are...
as much blood as possible.
The sand is absorbing it very well.
Yeah, I wake up and like shaken.
Okay. Yukikaze, you're being shaken awake.
Yeah. Is that time, Lormandus?
It is indeed. Is he in his armor?
As far as I know, he didn't
Yes.
take his armor. Yes, he says he's wearing his armor. Alright then. You are both awake. Leah is on watch. The others are asleep. And you know what you wish to do. So how do you wish to get out there and do it?
So I get together, I have the backpack, the memory box, and the raiments.
Okay. Altogether, this is pretty heavy, but you can make Yukikaze carry some of it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely making Yukikaze carry pretty much all of it, because I can't.
You can
Let's
handle
see
the
how it
raiments.
And that's why you brought him, right?
Yeah, I know.
I figured it might be best to wrap the memory box in the raiments, so
I mean-
that he doesn't touch it.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good idea. You can do that.
And they're going to the same place anyway.
They are.
Do you have everything that you think that you will need in our hopefully short endeavor?
I believe so.
So you're picking up the sword and putting it on your belt.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to shake off as much blood as possible too, like
Okay, you
have it nowhere.
you lift it
Just
up and it's
stand up.
dribbling down the side of the sheath. You like unsheath the sword and you can see that it's just like sitting in a pool of blood inside the sheath. So you pull it out and turn the sheath over and it just pours out several ounces of blood onto the sand.
Yeah, just so it minimizes the amount of nastiness later.
Yep. You you know, as you hold it, the blade is still dripping blood at a good clip. But you put the sheath, you know, you wipe the sheath in the sand, trying to get the blood off the outside of it, and put it on your belt.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna wipe it in the sand. I'll just shake it, because I know I'm not gonna get it all off.
Okay. You sort of whip it a few times, sending sprinkles of blood, you know, several feet away from yourself before putting it on your belt and then sheathing the sword inside. It's got, you know, crispy red sand clinging to the outside of it from where it was just sitting in the in the sand. You know, that mound of sand that you built up just soaked
Yeah.
up the blood. Like, it didn't so much act as a reservoir or a guide or a river so much as just absorbed it, you know, like newspaper at the bottom of an animal cage. You know, it's just red and mucky. I think he's ready to go there.
Okay.
Yep, I'll pick up what you want me to take and whatnot.
Alright, he hands you this box wrapped in, you know, white and silver robes. It looks like priestly vestments, and you can see the eye of Ione depicted on the collar. It weighs, you know, almost 20 pounds.
And I will say, as I get it to him, be careful not to touch the box itself. We have yet to see someone succumb to it. Although I would be most curious.
So maybe touch it.
Alright, I'll be
For
careful.
time.
It's for science.
I am going to Dimension Doors. I'm saying this to Yukikaze. I'm going to Dimension Doors just outside the doorway.
Okay.
And we are going to make our way from there. As with the shifting sands, I don't have a good enough idea of the outside that I can guarantee that we will not die. So we'll have a bit of a hike.
Okay.
Okay.
And I put my hand on him and ask him if he's ready.
He said okay, so I assume that means he's ready.
Yep.
And I Dimension Doors just outside.
Okay. Now, Dimension Door requires a picture in your mind of how things are, yes?
No, it requires either a stated, 10 feet that way,
Mm-hmm.
or a picture in your mind. So
Right.
it's pretty vague about what exactly you can do with it.
Right. But I mean, if you say, I want to be outside the door, and things outside the door have changed, how does that make you interact with it, do you think?
He's planning on going straight up to the wall of stone and being 5 feet that way and up.
And up.
Yeah, so he's expecting to fall a
Okay.
bit.
Alright. He walks you, Yukikaze, over to the wall of stone here.
Okay.
And you stand together for a moment as he says a quick incantation, grabs your shoulder, and suddenly you feel the world disappear around you. After a moment in blackness, and this is the most confusing blackness you've ever felt, in which gravity leaves you completely, and you feel like you're upside down, sideways, and inside out. I will tell you that you're experiencing this as well, and it is not normal.
Okay.
Not for Dimension Door.
I will say that if we are going into a place that is occupied, it would fail immediately and we would take 46 force damage.
Okay, it just sends you right back where you started?
Yeah.
Okay.
If that was what was going on.
Okay.
don't
No, that's not why it's weird. I'm going to say that the area you're trying to go to is partially occupied, so you'll be squeezing, and in this case, you find that your feet, up to about your knees, are buried in sand,
Okay.
but you are otherwise unharmed. But it was definitely the most disorienting trip through Dimension Door you've ever had. And that was not normal.
Well,
Laromandus, that sucked, by the way.
it did.
Is that the way you said that? Is that not normal?
No, that is definitely not normal.
Oh,
All the more reason for us to make sure we do this away.
Oh, that. I
It
hope.
will make getting back interesting.
Oh, I don't want to think about that. That was. Oh, ugh. Ugh.
Now then. It is right about 4 a.m., I do believe, if my math is correct. At 4:30. So you find that you are outside, on top of sand, or mostly on top of sand, except for your feet, which are partially buried in it. You find that the stone entranceway through which you gained entry to the vault is nearly buried. Like, you went up 5 feet, and so there's about 10 feet of it sticking up above the sand. You can see his rough stone wall, existing just not flush with it, extending about a foot out, so you know where his stone wall ends. But what you know for a fact, because you know how you described this spell to function, is that sand has been blown to partially occlude the entrance here. The moon is high and glimmers off the sand outside. There are gusts blowing through, and you are aware of storms in the distance away to the south and west. They're heading your way, but from the distances, which are damn near impossible to tell, you're hoping you have at least an hour.
Okay.
That's a best guess, but also the design that you were given shows that you should have at least that much time.
Okay. I turn to Ash and say, how good are you at judging distances that you have traveled?
My specialization is in judging distance in time, Scholar, but what is it you wish me to measure?
I would like to get farther than 500 feet from here in order to cast the spell, the teleportation circle with more assurances, but I would like to know how far back we have to come to be able to dimension door immediately inside.
Very well. If we are walking that distance, I should be able to give you a very accurate calculation of that, Scholar.
Excellent.
If you were asking me to look at a distant object and judge its distance, I would not be able to do that. I have only one eye.
That is reasonable. Well, shall we? And then I proceed to try and dig my feet out.
It takes you a few seconds, but you do eventually get your feet.
Well, can I say I was squeezing out when he was asking that question? I'll pull him out. Pick him up.
Sure.
Okay.
Your armor is well held together, given that it's full plate, so you don't have to worry about anything staying in the sand. You have some difficulty keeping your boots on your feet as they are trying to fill with sand and come off of you.
That is unfortunate.
Yukikaze does basically bodily grab you by the shoulders and begin hauling you up.
Yeah, that
And
seems reasonable.
and you feel the boots coming loose, and you reach down and try to hold onto the tops of them with your hands, balling fists around the leather. Now, as I said, the moon is high and glimmering off the sand, but it is about 4:30, moving on toward 5 in the morning. And so you are aware, especially this far east, of the horizon beginning to light up red as the sunrise is coming.
I'm going to ask Ash to be as bright as he can, and then start heading pretty much straight from the...
He looks at you and says,
not that bright.
Very well, Scholar. I can get pretty bright, you know.
Indeed. No, we need a sustained brightness.
Very good. Yes, he lights up brightly and illuminates the sand around you as you begin walking, I assume, due south away from the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay. He lets you know when you reach 500 feet.
Okay.
And gives you a reasonably confident report that you are at 500 feet now. And if you wish to be inside, you'll need to back up at least 2 feet from where you stand.
Okay.
Safer at 5.
Yeah. when I had received my sending from Nalia, because she sent after the message, was it garbled in any way, or did it feel like the same interference as when I was communicating with Ash, or was the sending unaffected?
I would say that, you know, the words in your mind, since it's telepathy, felt mostly okay, but there was just a little bit of something there. I wouldn't say garbled,
Okay.
but it was definitely not unaffected.
Okay.
There's something about this place that is interfering with long-distance magical transmissions.
Mm-hmm. And I don't really have the higher level spells to spend. I am going to, at just over 500 feet,
Just over or just under?
just farther than, like, over 500.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I need to actually construct the sending. Actually, is there a place around here that seems reasonable for the teleportation circle?
Do you mean naturally occurring hard surface?
Yeah.
Roll me, you have 14 passive. You can see a good distance off from where you are, but walkable relatively quickly, that there are some stones that look like they might have been tumbled in recently. They might be at least as big as you are.
Okay. I would like to head over to them.
Okay. Ash is going to give you assurance that you're outside of 500 feet here, but much farther than you were initially, so you'll have to trek back more to get to...
Which is fine.
Okay. So what do you think about all this, Yukikaze? Out in the cold night air. It is cold out, by the way.
Well, this is comfortable.
It's like 40.
Well, no, it's because I grew up here. This is expected. I'm like, yeah, this feels like home.
It is home, that's for sure.
It's really fucking cold.
What do you want from me, a poem?
Made entirely out of ice.
Good times.
Ugh.
Skelly bones. One thing that I didn't emphasize, but should be mentioned from before going back to sleep, was that after you guys finished off the skeletons and their mummy master, Jebel had dragged the corpse of the mummy into a corner and then burned it.
Okay.
I remember hearing that.
Well, that's you guys.
Works for me.
I believe Lara is still formulating. Oh, there it is. We got.
Put me to the keyboard.
It's difficult for me.
Did I detect any of these signs of the interference in her response to me?
No. Seemed quite clean.
Okay. Hopefully that isn't just a clever ruse.
Lull you into a false sense of security?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do.
I would lull me into a false sense of security.
I like feeling secure. It's safe there.
It's true.
So I am going to turn to Kaze, hand him the walkie-talkie, and say, I'm going to begin casting the teleportation circle. If you could put down the equipment here, I gesture like right next to where the circle is going to be so that I can move it over. I probably need to be wearing the backpack while casting it so that I can pick up the box and bring everything over. I imagine.
Yeah, I'll just do whatever Larmindus instructs.
So I put the backpack on and have a wonderful time drawing the circle.
Now, Mage Hand is a concentration spell, but Unseen Servant is not, right?
Mage Hand's not concentration.
I don't have Mage Hand though.
No, I was asking for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mage Hand is not. It can only hold 5 pounds though.
I know, but, you know, you can combine these things. 2 Mage Hands and 2 Unseen Servants is like 30 pounds. If you have 2 mages.
That's true. That's fair, yeah. She does have a
Yeah,
second
but
mage.
I didn't pick Mage
Poor
Hand.
Claire.
Ew.
As long as everything appears safe-ish around me, I'm going to begin working.
Your passive is plus 14, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yukikaze, what's your passive?
10.
Okay. Everything appears fine.
Okay. Keep watch, I will say, and then begin.
Yeah, Yukikaze, you've been handed a goldish metal box with a button on the side, and several dimly glowing gemstones on it, and told to keep watch.
And this is the one he told me to hold the particular way, right?
No,
Or what was that again?
I asked you to put the box down next to where I was gesturing for the circle.
Oh,
So
okay.
that,
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing you needed to be careful about is down.
Yeah, the
Okay.
heavy box you were carrying, he asked you to put on the ground. You were handed another box that is by him after you set it down that has a button on the side of it, and some lightly glowing gemstones. It's much smaller and very light.
Okay. So hold this, keep an eye out. We'll do. Where can I learn most? You got just anything out of this space right here, the circle area you're drawing is out of your way, right?
Correct.
Anything off the
Okay.
stone he's drawing on is out of his way, yes.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, so I will stand in a spot and keep watch then.
Okay.
Out of the way.
And then a minute goes by very uneventfully.
Yes, as you draw. And then you cast the teleportation circle. As you complete the drawing, say the words, and make the gestures, the lines of chalk that you have placed on the stone begin to glow with their own light. And slowly at the center, a building point of light expands to fill the circle, and a rainbow of colors emits from it, and slowly resolving seems to be a shimmering moonlit doorway through which you can perceive in very, very low quality, low resolution detail what appears to be the inside of the basement of Nalia's home. You're only able to tell that much because you've been there and know what it looks like. You can also see 2 figures on the other side, dressed in long clothing, and quickly both of them step through.
I'm gonna be fascinated by this.
Yes. Yukikaze, you are aware as both Nalia and the assistant whom you remember to be named Claire step through, and very soon after them, you'll see a bag or two bags come floating through as well, and they just get set down on the sand. And Nalia will quickly rush over to Laramendis and embrace him. And then she will look around. This whole exchange takes about 3 seconds because she is tiny.
I'll wave at her in 3 seconds.
And she will look fascinated around at the sands. She says,
I gesture at the box and give her the bag, and I say, "Attune the book, please."
She looks at you suspiciously and then takes the book from you.
Well, it's in the backpack.
It's in the backpack. Okay, she takes the backpack from you. How much does the backpack weigh? It was 3,000.
It's only the gold and the book.
Right, and it's 1 pound for 50, so that thing was like actually pretty heavy.
Yeah, no, it is heavy.
So she takes the backpack from you, and says, "Claire," and hands it over to her, who again seems to dip with the weight of it. You'll notice that the box wrapped in its garment lift up off the ground as the unseen servants grab it and say, "Everything you need is in the bags.
Thank you.
Do not die."
I will never not shoot.
And she
There's
will.
now a lot of talking.
She will step backward while still looking at you very seriously through the portal, following after Claire and the unseen servants. And just as she's disappearing through it, you will notice that she looks up sharply and says, "Behind you!" and disappears.
That's not fun. I turn.
You turn. Both of you are now aware of figures, silhouettes in the moonlight, rising over the dune nearby.
Do I still have that box in my hand?
No. You have the walkie-talkie. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You have the box that has a button on the side of it.
Yeah, well, to me it's a box. I don't know what it is.
It has emitted sound after Leah communicated. No, wait,
He
that
was
was before
asleep.
you woke up.
Yeah.
You have never seen it work.
So I saw this box. So okay, so we noticed these silhouettes. Larry, I just gotta put this down real quick, or give it to
Give it
you.
to me.
No, I'll hand it to you. I'll quickly hand it. I'll quickly hand it to Larry Mendes and draw my 2 magical swords because we see silhouettes. So I'll draw a bleeder and I'll draw my short sword.
I was like, we didn't leave it outside, did we? There are
So what?
4 humanoid-sized and shaped figures coming at you over the sand rather quickly.
Do they seem aggressive?
Well, you don't... Given the... Well, actually, you have dark vision. They don't have weapons drawn.
Really?
Can I yell, "Announce yourselves"?
You may yell that.
I can get us out of here with 2 teleports, but it will drain all of my resources.
Well, that
I
allows-
say to Yukikaze.
Well, will that get us back inside? I'll say it real quick.
Ideally.
Yukikaze, you do not have dark vision, so you're only aware that in the moonlight, and as they are outside of the light being emitted by ash, they are 4 humanoid creatures. You can see reflective eyes as they come towards you quickly. As you shout, "Announce yourselves," they will stop outside of the circle of light being emitted by ash. And one will speak. It speaks in a somewhat feminine voice, as far as you can tell, anyway, and says to you from the shadows, "You did not teleport away, though you opened the portal, did you not?" You are aware that there are 4 tabaxi. They are dressed in light but flowing clothing. They are wearing weapons, but they are not drawn.
Can I insight them?
You may.
I should
I'm
probably
sorry,
get
I'm
dice,
sorry.
which are in the other room.
Sorry, Sam. It's not my fault entirely. Only mostly. What about you, Yukikaze? What do you say to all this?
I'm thinking of the way I want to phrase this properly without.
She will wait as you think, and then finally speak again.
Well, I could like give me like a timestamp. I don't. Well, I read that.
Why does Twitch tell me?
Just I'm gonna ask in the sense of
What are you guys seeing on Twitch? Did I go to the wrong thing?
I just see the first room.
Oh, am I watching a
Wait.
video?
You might have clicked on an old video or something.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, go ahead, Yukikaze.
Pardon me, but why are you curious?
We are seekers of knowledge. You are inside of that stone box, were you not?
No.
There is a pregnant pause, and then a male voice comes from nearby her. One of the others is speaking now. And he says, "This is not true. Ruth Aldo saw you come from there. Saw you go in the other day. Speak truth to us."
Oh, Fox, you talking about the big stone thing way back there?
Yes.
No, I know you said. I'm just. So are you speaking up to answer for them?
Yes, no, that was Laramentis saying yes.
Okay.
That was a very poor roll.
They're truthful.
My passive insight is 14.
knowing that they're tabaxi, they definitely saw that. So I'm just gonna be straight with them and be like, "Oh, yes, that is correct."
Well then, will you tell us what you saw inside?
Well, pause real quick. Real quick, visually, Laramendis is really close to me, right?
I'm standing right next to you because I need to be able to grab you if I want to.
He is very close to you.
Okay, so I'm paused, so I'll be like, "Hey, Laramendis, like, you can teleport us at any time, right?"
It will take 2.
This one hopes you will take the time to speak with us.
Laramentis is looking expectantly at Yukikaze because Yukikaze is the one who's from here and would probably have the most experience dealing with the people from here, and like,
Yeah.
if we should, do what
Yeah,
they
that's-
say or like GTFO. So Laramentis is waiting for Yukikaze to give him some idea of what he wants to do.
Well, no, we don't need to also need to sleep to break it.
You seem worried, traveler. Would you permit this one to approach?
I know Tabaxi's tendencies, right, Tristan?
You know that they are always curious about things they don't know. You know that they are traders, tradesmen, rather, merchants. You know that they collect things, they travel far and wide, but mostly stay within the bounds of the desert, and besides that, that other than when conducting business, they tend to avoid civilization and other humanoids. I don't hear you.
And do they also, from my knowledge, do they usually don't like to put themselves in danger, right? Tristan,
Yeah, what?
do they not like to put themselves in danger?
Most people don't like to put themselves in danger.
I know, but some people might, or some species might be a little more up, just like, oh, I can handle that. And,
I mean, you know, curiosity killed the cat.
yeah.
Curiosity killed the tabaxi in this world.
That's what the cleric was for.
You, forgive me, but you may come a little bit closer, but, since I don't know you, I'm a little, wary of you, but also, well, I'll let them come a little closer before I finish saying what I'm gonna say.
Sure. One of the shadows rises and moves into the circle of light, staying near her companions at the edge, though. It is a lithe, cat-like humanoid. You recognize the tabaxi. She is leopard-spotted, and she is wearing light-colored linen clothing, silks and linens. Very, very light armor. You can see that she carries a long-bladed knife at her belt, but it is at her belt and not in her hand. And she squints at you for a moment, and her eyes, you can see her eyes adjusting to slits in the light, and she says, "You are from the tribes, are you not?"
Yes, and, currently, I will let you know what we're doing because, you know, being from, I am from Naganoboshi. The Naganoboshi clans, we are, what's in the box, I have been sent on a journey to fight a lich that happens to be here. And
There is a general
Yeah.
murmur from the shadows.
yes, so I'm telling you this for your own safety. It's better to stay away from this place.
But you and
but-
your friend are going to destroy this lich?
That is the goal. It's not an easy task, and this is where Bahamut has directed me.
She, kind of straightens up her posture a little, tilting her head to one side, and says, "This one is called Basharazol. What is your name, traveler?"
Yukikaze Naganoboshi.
"And why have you strayed so far from your tribe?"
Would they have knowledge of my without? If you happen to speak, capitalism. You back?
It's breaking up a little too much at the moment. Hang on.
Mine's being crappy too.
Okay, I think it's back.
Can you hear me alright? Mine
Yeah.
was fluctuating. Okay. So I will state that so if you happen to have visited our clans, since you know of the tribes, you know of crap, even I forgot the name of it.
I know a lot of crap about the tribes.
Sorry, that was out of character. That was out of character. Is that me going in and out?
No, it's me.
Oh, well, jeez. Freaking go. I'm thinking my thing's acting up.
Sorry, breaking up, so I left, and I came back, and then suddenly everybody cut out, so I left and came back. Now it's working.
Yeah, I
now.
think it was just the server was experiencing a problem for a moment there.
Traffic. Where the heck is my papers? Where is no. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find my sheet. I haven't opened it in a little while.
She, as he seems to be racking
So-
his brain for what to say.
No, I'm not racking my brain. This is something I would know immediately. The rite of passage thing is something that is like a big deal in celebrating clans. So if they came and traded with us, they would have known during that time period because it isn't something that just breezes by. Oh, there it is. So back up. So where I was saying is like if you've traveled to my clan or to my tribes, you would know of the Shinseketsu, and that is coming up. So I'm on a pilgrimage for that, and following Bahamut's guidance, which has led us here.
That is your big rite of rulership celebration where all of the Dragonborn elect fighters, correct?
Yes.
This one has witnessed it once.
So, yeah, that is currently why we are in this unfortunate predicament.
Indeed. She kind of tilts her head off to the left and looks pointedly at Laramendus and says, "And you, elf? You are of one purpose with this Dragonborn?"
Yes, we're working together.
And what have you to say of this stone structure buried beneath the sands?
What of it?
My people have long eyed it, wondering what secrets it contains. If you have the time, we would invite you back to our camp, and she is immediately cut off by someone in the shadows who seems to grab her wrist and pull her down. She pulls herself away and she says, "I think it is safe, Zuzabar. We can offer you shelter and food if you would share with us stories of what lies within. Beyond this Lich that you claim."
I would know, on a character, I would know Tabaxi tribes in Torlos, right?
You know that they exist and that they travel a lot, but you don't know if they call any one place home. They might be referring to an encampment.
Hmm. Well, currently we are in the midst of dealing with this Lich, so we can't accompany you today. But if you send a message to my father in Nagaraboshi, of the Nagaraboshi clan, he can direct me to you guys' tribes later if you wanted to talk.
At this point, one of the shadows from behind that you haven't heard but speak before seems to chime in.
I was getting out of the volume thingy keys world.
And says, "As far as we are aware, the Nagareboshi clans are far to the west. What good would it be to send runners that far if you are right here?"
Is there any way to key area in Torlos that you could point me to where we could find you later?
Ruthaldo has convinced this group to stay nearby. He thinks that you will have a great many secrets to share with us. So, we will await you to come back out. victorious over your Lich.
You will be fine staying safe with the storms until then.
Bashar Azul speaks up again and says, "We have been avoiding the storms thus far to stay nearby to this structure. What do you call it?"
I don't know of its name. I can say that. Oh, that's
Garland? I say to Yuki Kaze.
Is that so I'll be like, oh, that's right.
There's
I'm sorry,
she seems to lean back toward the shadows, and they are definitely whispering to one another.
I'm sorry. It's exhausting. We've had a lot of battles. I forgot. And I'll rub my head a little. My swords are, yeah, I'm also sheathed my swords by now too.
One of which is, leaking.
Yeah.
Bashar Azul leans over again to direct her question to Laramandus and says, "Very ancient children's tales tell of a place called Garland, some mystical land of magic and machinery, but no such place could really exist. Could it?"
Well, we haven't explored all the depths yet.
I have found it to be that many of the old tales have enough of a grain of truth in them to be worth listening to. And we have indeed seen interesting mechanisms that can't be found elsewhere.
We will think on this. This one thanks you for talking with me.
Well, I am happy that you guys were not out to get us.
I hope to speak again when this area is more safe.
Yes.
Bashar Azul
agreed.
finds that it is a lot more lucrative to speak with travelers than to try to rob them or kill them. Now then, you will come to share the stories of what lies within when you are finished, will you not?
Yeah, if we make it out, and I hope to make it out.
And you know that it would be quite dangerous to face anything called Lich, if the stories are to be believed.
Yeah,
It will be.
I am praying
I will
Bahamut's
convey
got our
to
back.
our companions that if I will let our companions know that the information is expected and that your presence nearby is to be sought out should we not be two of them that make it.
The elder male from the shadow speaks up again and says, "So, there are more of you in there."
Well, yeah, two of us can no way beat a Lich with just us. Impossible. More likely.
Bashar Azul just sort of brings up her hands in a shrugging gesture and says, "Your fate is your own to choose. The desert usually decides poor people, but you've found a shelter. We hope to be able to see you again and learn."
Well, we
are
hope that
sorry
we
you're
can.
not in more of a sharing mood now.
Yes, well, I hope
I
I
wish
will
that
be
we had
alive.
the time to share properly.
And I hope to see you later because I would like to be alive later. So, I'll be looking forward to meeting you also again.
She nods in the light given off by Ash and says, "Look for Bashar Azul when you leave. She will be to the north." And
We will.
she steps back out of the ring of light, and you see the silhouettes moving back east and north.
Lyrmendus, I'm glad they were not here to attack us.
I am also glad for that. I do wish that we had the time to properly speak with them.
Yes,
The more
but
people
I'm
who
also...
know about this place, the better.
Well, and also the fact is I was trying to let them know what was in there so they didn't follow us and then end up getting themselves killed and adding to the mummy army. So...
They didn't seem keen to necessarily explore on their own.
Fair enough. Well, we better get back.
Because they're smart.
So,
Mercenaries who can't negotiate.
They're called heroes.
alright, Lyrmendus, get us back in there. Hopefully we don't have to experience that too horribleness for too long.
I'm sure that we will. I hope that we arrive in the place that we want to.
You see that you have your 2 leather sacks. You know they are full of ingredients. You can check them. They have everything you need, everything you asked for.
Alright, well, let's get these bad boys in there and get us in there too, so we can finish up our rest.
And begin heading to the 500 feet mark.
The place where you created the teleportation circle is still a bit of a faded image of it in the chalk. It wasn't completely eaten away.
Yeah. Can you, your sword, can you just fix this?
What, bleed on it with it?
Shave away at the rock with it? I don't want the symbol seen.
Yeah, I'll I'm gonna...
Casting magic. I've cast a lot of magic during this long rest. If you're telling me that I can press the digitate without worrying about that, like hitting that limit, then I will press the digitate. Otherwise, I'm asking him to hit a rock.
Let him feel useful.
Okay.
I'll scrape away some of it and smear blood on it. It's gonna look like a horrible mess.
Smearing blood will do nothing. I want the markings gone.
So he wants you to hack at the rock where there's any chalk left over. There are marks here and there. Overall, there's still a general impression of a circle there, but in some areas, quite a bit of chalk is still left so that certain markings can be made out.
It's a magic sword, so it's pretty durable. I'll carve extra weird symbols that aren't magic symbols but look like other symbols.
No, it
Make
flashes. And then
Your dick involved in there.
Where'd he go? I don't know.
How did he know that one?
Well, you've opened up the circle in the 8th ring of the 9 hills.
Oh yeah, get dropped off the
It's
Underdark
been
right
fun.
on top of Bahamut's sword.
There's a demon in just a bathtub. It's like scrubbing his back. How did you? So.
No. So yeah.
And then leans back seductively.
Oh god.
So yeah, I'm gonna disface the surface, do all this stuff, put a decent amount of work into it, and then we'll head off.
Okay, yeah, you hack away, removing chalk and making other weird markings there to try and throw off anyone else who might see it and try to use it. Takes you, 10 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay. Because I have a very sharp sword.
It's true.
It's true. It's magic.
This, whole being out and about took 20-25 minutes.
Alright, well, let's get back in there, Lyrmendus. I'm gonna cringe a little too when we do the last, or do the teleport through the wall.
Well, we have yet to be described what happens with that teleport.
Yeah,
Or are you
well,
gonna
I'm
cringe
still...
when I touch your shoulder?
Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
So, how does it go?
Teleport.
My butt cheeks are still clenched.
Pretty
like
much
to
is what's
go-
gonna happen.
Like 30 feet beyond where the 500-foot one is, just to be extra sure.
Yeah, so you walk back and Ash looks around and goes, "Yes, I think this is the right spot, Scholar."
for the spot that I want? Or okay. Ready?
He rubs his hands together as he asks you this.
Shit. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it.
And I cast Dimension Door with picturing the, like, just inside of the,
Are we done yet?
So you want to be like right there?
yeah.
Okay. You feel the world disappear around you, and for a brief moment it feels exactly as it should. And then everything just seems to go haywire, and you feel just nauseous. You find yourself standing on solid ground, and above you you see a sandy floor.
Son of a bitch.
And then it rushes up to meet you.
So Yukikaze gets on his son of a bitch.
Yep.
And I'm like, well...
I fucking hate liches.
So each of you takes 7 bludgeoning damage as you fall from the ceiling of this room onto the floor. 7 non-magical bludgeoning damage. You're pretty close to where you wanted to be.
I felt better.
The
does-
nausea is passing.
How does Leah react to that?
Leah's sitting on the Enolian, just sort of looking around hawkishly with the, like, box in her hand at the ready, when she hears, son of a... She kind of turns around and then speaks into the box and says, "You never called. Did everything go okay?"
We were only supposed to call if things went
I can't
wrong.
hear you. She's like 40 feet away.
I don't actually know how close I'm supposed to...
So we're
We
all
were
done,
only
right,
supposed to
learning
call
this?
if things went wrong.
Oh, so everything went okay.
Yes.
Then why do you look hurt?
The Lich's effects. I hold the thing away from me and I walk over to her.
You're no fun.
The Lich's effects on the magic of the area had an interesting
Effect.
I wasn't going to use the word effect. There's a word that I want and I can't remember what it is. Starts with like an S or a Sim something.
So
What does it mean?
I'm bringing anything that I carried in over, putting it on the cart, and then I'm gonna, as they're talking, I'm gonna walk back over to my spot because I know we're still gonna rest a little bit and get set up again. You know, push the other blood pile away, make a new little pile of sand. And
It's still like
pile.
wet and sticky and nasty, and like all the red sand granules are sticking to you.
actually, then when I touch it, I'm gonna be like, yeah, screw this. I'm gonna go and move over to another spot and replicate it.
Neither do I.
So Tristan, I'm gonna move to.
No. I don't know if it actually starts with Sim.
Deal. What'd you say, Mel?
I'm gonna like touch the sand when I to like think about going to do it, and I'm gonna realize fuck this, and just go to another spot, and then make a repeat of what I did over there in this other spot, and then get
Like, to have an
comfortable
effect
and
on
Okay.
get ready to rest. And I put everything on the cart, or near the cart, wherever all our other stuff is over there. And I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Fine, I'll just say interact. The interference from the Lich interacted strangely with the teleportation magic.
you know, the word's gonna come to us later, too.
It is.
Alright, so, y'all finish out your rest.
Woo!
Everybody may click on their character sheet to get a long rest.
Oh, thank God.
For an hour ago, I was almost dead. Now I feel fine.
Spell slots are restored, HP is back.
And I got back some hit dice.
I can cast magic.
Everything's restored so that we can lose it all against the Lich.
Oh, yay.
You find that Leah's, you know, like, laying across the lizards, like, writing in her journal when you wake up. Sorry, diary. So what do you do now? You're all in the cart, with the exception of Leo, who's out on the lizard, and Yukikaze, who's over in that corner for some reason. It's a different corner than he was in when you went to sleep.
So,
Oh, I feel so much better.
today's the day.
I was never stabbed
Oh,
or
good.
shot.
I have the reagents that people had asked for.
Excellent.
It's Christmas. Larmendus has 2 leather sacks filled with stuff, including diamonds and what else?
Oh god, this was gonna be before like a Tumblr story.
Oh no. Just type in 31,000 and search that.
There are
Or
rare
31.
oils and unguents. Diamond
Unguents,
dust
oh
and-
nice.
So yeah,
Quick
diamond
question.
dust, diamonds, oils, and... Just look up diamond.
What's the recharge rate for the Gnomish Rod of Healing?
D8 plus 1,
Cool. I'm gonna have to do that.
please.
Alright.
Could have been better. Could have been worse.
I mean, how many did you use up?
I mean, last time I used up 8. Just to try and make sure people would live through the night because people were hurt bad.
Okay.
Oh, also in the bag had been one of the blue grenade.
Right. She's got that.
Diamond didn't.
Right, so you've got rare oils and unguents. You've got diamond dust. You've got diamonds. Well, that's actually it. It's just a lot of diamonds.
Yeah.
Just
Lot
a
of
fuck ton of diamonds.
I mean, that's what you do for curing and resing people.
I
We needed
should
that
have.
bling,
I
man.
should have asked for something else.
What'd you do?
I should have asked for some holy water or some powdered silver iron.
Why?
I could use magic circle. That might be helpful against an undead lich.
I would like to point out the casting time.
Magic Circle takes a very long time to set up.
Hey
and
guys,
the
just
Lich is not
protect me.
stupid.
Okay, did you say just protect you? For, what is it, 10 minutes, an hour?
Oh my
1
god.
minute. Thank you very much.
1 minute. Yeah, that's gonna get us all killed. No fight lasts a minute unless you've done something very wrong.
And against a lich, it probably will take at least that.
Not if we're just trying to
Wanna be
protect you.
adequate in the entire fight, and that's somehow if we manage to keep you alive long enough.
And this also implies that we keep the Lich inside the circle for that same minute.
The better use of the circle in
not
that respect is to make it so the Lich cannot attack into it.
Yeah, I know. That would have been the thing.
I'm saying that for Cyrus's benefit.
Right, I forgot about that. I always think of it the other way around.
It's cool.
But it is a simple spell to dispel.
Also that.
Well, then he has to
I'm
dispel
sure
it.
the Lich can't dispel it. That would be ridiculous.
Or maybe you
Why
just
would-
Of course
counterspell
not.
it while you're casting it.
Guy would never give dispel magic to the Lich.
I really like the idea of the paladin. So this is out of character. The paladin sitting down, starting to draw a magic circle, spends 9 rounds on it, and then the Lich just snaps and counterspells.
No.
Doesn't even waste a turn, just reactions it. Can you counterspell?
Yes. Well, the one casting the spell cannot counterspell can be counterspelled, but not by the person casting the spell, unless one counterspells a cantrip that they're casting.
Alright. I was just curious.
Oh yeah. You get enough mages in the room, and then
I mean, we have enough mages in the room, I'm pretty sure.
There's a lot of mages in that room.
Yeah, we got like 4 arcane casters if you include the Lich. I almost said witch.
I'm not a witch, I'm a lich. But after what I just heard, I don't even know if I want to be that anymore.
can the Lich's personality be Miracle Max's wife?
It's too late. I've already got a personality set up for the Lich.
Can there be a
Dang.
second, smaller Lich?
Come on, I don't want to do it with a demi-lich, man. Come on, we don't want that.
It's just a floating skull there nagging.
Yeah, it's the Demi-Lich.
Alright, what are you doing?
I mean,
Leo's completely
is there anything
ignoring
left to be
all this.
discussed, or at this point is it just march on the field and make our way inside?
There are sections of this the area mostly outside the Lich's influence that we have not seen.
Do we wish to try and explore them all, or try and deal with the Lich while we still have the most resources available to us?
I'm not sure if we'll find anything that will be useful enough in our encounter for the expended resources of doing a thorough search now.
I've taken you to the most useful place I could know of, Scholar.
Save any more exploration until after we've dealt with them.
So, I guess the first question is, do we want to go next to the barrier and let him attune his cloak? Or do we want to just let him attune his cloak now? Referring to Vendar.
Should I attune my cloak to the spell? Because I imagine the have a lot of area of effect spells, and I am if I use the cloak.
I'm not really sure what you just said. Things got chopped up for me.
Okay, so I imagine the Lich will probably have a lot of area of effect spells that
Not
will
necessarily.
make it. If we've ever fought ahead, so I'm gonna go under the assumption that it will.
I suppose.
So perhaps using something that gives away my location. And it's probably going to be using spells that are action and not AC. So I don't think I'm going to use the cloak for the Lich fight.
I suppose that's up to you. I mean, does anyone else want to use it for the Lich fight? Just give it back afterwards?
Did I lose my attunement slot already? Okay. If you don't wish to attune it, I can.
You can do
If you
that.
would like, it would be more useful to you, since you can't hide normally.
There's a very pained look on Laramandus' face when he says this.
I can try, damn it.
I suppose one other thing worth mentioning. Is anyone planning to use the silence string?
I believe that Vandar had put it on one of his other bows or something, hadn't he?
He put it on a crossbow last I checked.
Yeah, I have a hand crossbow. Okay.
Alright.
Usually you
I
can
have swapped it
hold on to the hand crossbow for the fight.
for one of my spells. I think that's reasonable enough.
If I recall, it was mentioned that liches are either resistant or impervious to flames. So it might, since I'm fairly good with a crossbow myself, perhaps I could use it. Thus, if the, fire thing doesn't work, I have another option. And even if fire does work, I can still cast spells and shoot arrows at the same time.
Sure, I'll hand him the crossbow with the string on it.
Alright.
I'll need to transfer the string because I'm not proficient with a hand crossbow.
Oh, really?
Dude, I'm a sorcerer. I'm proficient with like 4 weapons. Daggers, clubs, light crossbows, and I think slings.
It's such a cool hand crossbow. It's all like clockwork.
Do you
It
want me
is,
to have do you want me to have a +7 to hit or +3 to hit? That's the question.
I'll take the string off and give him the string.
I mean, you've still got a cool crossbow. It now just doesn't have a string.
I mean, like, yeah.
It's still got cool gears, though.
Yeah, with the other string, and I took off of it.
Did anyone else express an interest in attuning the cloak?
I mean, I feel like I'm already being kind of hoggish with the items as it is. I would like to get them spread out, so I'll let that be somebody else's business.
If you would like to use the cloak, I'm good with that.
Okay, then. I believe that it should be attuned before we descend, in case there isn't enough time.
Alright.
So I will do that.
I'll hand him the cloak.
Alright, you have the cloak. You may attune it. Would you like to bring back Kyoko?
I think I have one single casting of her back.
Do you
So-
want to use it or do you want to save it?
As long as I can poof her before the fight, then yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So you go to attune this thing and then you poof back Kyoko. Oh, as soon as she reappears, she goes, "What the hell was that?"
That was the thunder gun.
Exploded!
Yes, everything did, and then things were over very quickly.
Yeah, for me.
For everything.
There's a lot of bones up here. I don't remember all these bones. I remember a lot of skeletons.
Oh, I unprepared.
These are just bones that are standing.
Okay. She hawks him a pellet.
Doesn't.
Now there's more bones.
did you even eat that? Anyway.
She just blinks at you. Swirls her head.
I would also like to
They look
cast
like squirrel
detect
bones.
magic. Do they look like squirrel?
They definitely are from a small rodent-like creature. Yeah.
Does familiar?
Poor little Jebel.
Wait, did Cyrus call Jebel?
Yep.
You're calling him over to look at this, like, little wad of fur and bone on the ground that the owl familiar just knocked up.
Am I looking at this?
I guess so.
I mean, are you?
What do I roll to see if I recognize what kind of animal it was?
Nature.
I'm going to cast detect magic after.
That's
attuning.
24.
Okay.
We
Just
didn't-
so
we
that you
didn't-
have it up.
Well, and we didn't detect magic to see if the staff or whatever that our friend the Southern Mummy had.
It probably wasn't, since it's gone. It burned up.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Everything he was wearing and carrying burned up.
Okay, then then just a head up.
I mean, unless it's very particular magic that allows itself to be destroyed like that.
I don't know. Good then. You don't know.
What are you insinuating?
Did his nature roll tell him anything?
I didn't hear what the number
Oh, I
was.
got 24.
24. It is
Yeah.
definitely a small rodent. Could have been a rat, a chipmunk, or a squirrel. But there is not enough... Well, it's either a chipmunk or a squirrel, because you can see those fine, fibrous furs from their tail. But it's hard to tell between which of those it might be. It's brown. What color was your squirrel?
What did I say it was?
So I'm gonna go with maybe.
There's a certain breed of squirrel.
I mean,
that
there's only
actually
like
lives-
4 colors of squirrel. They come in like brown, gray, red, and black.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember which one it was. I had one in mind and I can't remember. Let's see. I think it was gray.
Okay, well this is brown.
Dang.
That isn't Jebel? Well, what the hell is it then?
I don't think it matters.
I think that
This
was
one's
dinner
brown.
2 weeks ago. When was the last time you summoned me?
It has been a while.
3 weeks.
Right then. Shall we?
I guess we shall. So
We
we're
shall.
going to the room that I made the floor in, right?
You're going to the room that you made the floor in.
Well, this goes.
As we're traveling, Jabba is going to ask Syl if she's seen his squirrel.
You begin talking to your pendant, and after a moment it glows green, and she says, "No, when did you have a squirrel?"
Hmm? What? No, I've always had a squirrel.
I don't think so. I've been paying pretty close attention during your journey. I never saw a squirrel. There were squirrels around the group.
I'm
And
pretty
one of them
certain
was with
that-
me.
and I've never seen a squirrel.
Bliss gave him to me.
Where did you keep it?
On me.
I mean,
I mean, if you really did keep it on you, I'm thinking the fire elemental had something to do with its disappearance.
There was a Fae?
Alright.
On you. There was a Fae. There was never a squirrel.
So we should
Oh
try
yeah,
fire,
are we
right?
Come
meeting
again?
Kubriel at with the card again?
Are you?
Wanted to ask the party.
I mean, I would well, you know what? I really don't have an opinion on this at this point.
Just don't know if it's still better to have her there or to have the extra.
I
One
believe
thing
it
before we go any
unlikely
further.
that anything is going to enter in from this way, from the outside.
Huh?
and they didn't seem to show any interest in the cart
Leaving
or the animals last night.
the room.
Trying to
So
bring her.
Wait, did Laramentis and Yukaze inform the others about the whole Tabaxi thing?
No, he did not. Oh, well, I can't speak. I'm sleeping. I'm over in the corner.
I mean,
Not
you're
rested
here now.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been here. Okay.
So this is when Raiken asked about that. There are Tabaxi keeping an eye on the entrance here, but they seemed like they did not want to enter themselves because they valued their lives.
Smart people.
smart tabaxi.
Certainly smarter than
They
this.
seemed friendly enough and sought information about this place. I told them that should we succeed in fighting, in dealing with the Lich, we would share that information with them.
Can we get back to the Fae? Armendus, is your owl a Fae?
She is.
Is that who you're talking about, Sel?
No. The owl's right there. You had a different
Yeah.
Fae.
I'm sure I'd remember having a Fae.
So you had a fairy riding shotgun on your shoulder disguised as a squirrel. Okay then.
And
I
now
don't
it's
think
gone.
it was one you summoned.
Are Fae good or are they bad or is this gonna bite us in the ass?
Wait, Blaze gave me a Fae?
Garamendis is right. Fae are Fae.
Oh, goody.
I'm Fae.
I'm sure it's gonna bite us in the ass.
I don't think a Fae would want to bite you in the ass. You don't bathe frequently, Vendar.
I'm sure there's one.
Duty out here.
Jebba is just kind of nodding, agreeingly at Vendor. Makes sense.
Well, I think Raiken would have brought Kubriel then. We had that discussion.
If the Fae wasn't summoned by you, Jebel, it must have been summoned by someone else.
No, Bliss gave him to me.
You think it's possible?
But this is the first I've heard of it, so I guess maybe.
I can ask him.
Oh, that'd be nice.
The pendant goes dim. And a long silence spreads out.
Jebba just looks awkward.
After several minutes, it does not light back up.
Oh, that was a fun wait. Let's keep
I think
going.
we should probably keep moving. I mean, it's not like she can't find us if we're not here.
Indeed.
Did Leah
Into the
inform
bridge.
everyone else about the sound thing that I told her about?
No.
Not the walkie-talkie.
No. She hasn't mentioned it. She seems just rather distant.
Fair.
Honestly. She's quiet. She looks malcontented, honestly, but she's just going where the party goes.
You'll remember that there was the drumming sound that preceded the skeletons showing up. I say to everyone.
Okay.
That continued after the skeletons were dealt with. For
And they didn't
some
turn up
time
again.
and stopped. I
Cool.
feel
Skeletons
it is
that made the
likely
noise?
that there is a large number of them somewhere. But we were not their goal. Or us in that location was not their goal.
Well, we never thought it would be easy, right?
We don't have the advantage of surprise anymore. If we ever had it, I don't know.
Considering the influence on my communication spells, I doubt that we ever had it.
Oh, do you think she was listening in?
Listening in, possibly interfering in some way, probably.
Hmm.
The exact magics that can do things like that are beyond me.
Yeah, we should probably get a move on, so.
I agree.
So what will you do now? You have this doorway in front of you. I will state that one of the doors here is open, this one, and this one is closed. This one is open, you can see into the room, and you can also see that the door is trapped in stone and cannot be closed. There is a layer of stone about an inch, seemingly hovering about an inch off the ground, that was, 6 inches thick, I think?
I believe so. I believe it's... There were the large panels and it's 3, but the smaller panels are 6.
I don't know which is large and which is small. All I know is that they were 20 feet, and they're not...
Then that's the
normal.
larger ones. So, 3 inches thick.
Alright, so this is 23. Oof. Oh. It is still drawn out. Hooray. There we go. So.
I've been listening to what's going on, but I think you guys did it while I went to the bathroom. Did we conclude the long rest?
Yes.
Yeah, you have a long rest.
Okay.
And then the party left to go here.
And I believe we decided I'm bringing Raiken, or
Yes, Raiken did bring
Kubriel.
himself.
I'm bringing
Raiken.
Kubriel with us.
Alright. So I'm caught up now. I just missed that one hair point. Like I knew we started moving, but I'm like, wait a second. Did we? Alright, I'm good.
We did spend
Thank
a
you.
little over an hour more than the long rest for me to attune the cloak of shadow thing.
Smoke.
Oh, am I not coming through loud enough?
If you talk too quietly, it doesn't jump, so I know it's not getting you.
Okay, we spent a little bit longer than a long rest, so that I had time to attune the cloak of shadows.
And for bowstrings to be applied and yada yada.
Yeah, the bowstring is just taken action. There's no attunement for those. Okay. Well then, as I said, the left door is open and trapped in this stone panel here. The right door is closed and trapped by this stone panel here. It cannot be fully opened as it collides during its swing with the stone panel. You can see that this extends out, covering much of the floor, and then seems to end at this purple wall. Your detect magic lets you know, let's see,
It's only 30 feet.
10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, sorry. Until you enter the room, you know nothing.
So who wants to go first?
I vote for the tiger.
No, did we bring the tiger then? Was that the decision?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's grab
Good man
the
should
tiger
go.
then.
I mean, I'd probably be riding Kubriel.
In the hallway?
Why not? Do we need to be ready?
There we go.
Are the hallways large enough that they expect, like a dragonborn riding a tiger walking through them?
I mean, these hallways were definitely designed by the decor and everything you've seen by gnomes, but the hallway is 20 feet wide and 20 feet tall. They're square. It seems like, if nothing else, they were designed so that these large statues could be moved through them. As you notice, these large statues seem to appear throughout this place in random, sometimes unexpected locations.
Cool. Have there been torches lit while in the areas that we've been wandering through to get back to here?
All of the torches seem to be burning low, but yes.
Okay. Cool. So Raiken and Goobs went first?
So, yes, I guess right.
Everyone's voting for it.
Nobody's voting against it.
I do think one of the summons should go first, just in case.
There we go. Raiken.
Okay, Raiken will get off of Kubriel, I guess, then.
She pads into the room,
He
and then
will,
you climb down, and she turns and looks at you.
he will speak to her in Celestial.
Okay. All of you
Who-
hear him speaking in Celestial.
Word and try to pass through the purple barrier and tell us side.
She, nods obediently and says yes. Simply, before moving up through the room slowly. She moves up to the barrier and pauses for just a moment before stepping into it, and you see her disappearing through it. And then she disappears from view.
Okay.
Did she say anything?
And no, not yet.
There
Raiken will
is...
telepath.
There is a pregnant pause. Are you going to telepath to her?
I mean, it depends on how long there is no communication.
You don't hear anything for a solid several seconds. Like, at
I
least
mean, if
one
it's just seconds, then I can wait longer than that.
Okay. After about 12 seconds, she's going to... do wish it would stop moving around like that. Reappear and come out of the barrier. And she's going to pad back over to you and speak in Celestial and say, "Could you not hear me?"
No, I could not hear you at all.
Interesting. There is another world on the other side.
Is it safe to cross through there?
I did not detect any enemies nearby.
Okay. They're like the end of the room, like a doorway.
There was... how to put this? There was a building I could enter.
Wait, so you were outside?
Yes.
Okay. What did the outside look like?
A desert.
Okay. Raiken will and then tell everyone this in common, and then speak Celestial and already understand it.
What did the building look like?
It seemed like a different plane.
Are you going to translate for them if she speaks?
Yeah,
Yes.
he said he did that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that portion. She says, it looked like a house, I think? And it seemed to be on the material plane. But it was a place I have never visited.
Oh. Before we do anything like that, I have various telepathic bond.
That could be useful.
I forgot about that.
It's a concentration spell for an hour or something like that?
It is not a concentration spell, it's a ritual.
Oh.
It lasts an hour.
Okay. How long does the ritual take? A minute?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Oh, okay. I don't know. If stuff can't be cast as a spell, I imagine it's shorter in ritual time.
It's 10 minutes and an action.
Okay.
So while you all discuss that,
Okay,
I'd
that's
like
fair.
to cast the spell.
Yeah. That just means you can't ask any more questions.
Damn.
Laramentis
okay.
begins casting a ritual as you begin interrogating, or continue interrogating the tiger. She says, no, it seemed to be on the material plane, but it's a place I've never visited.
Do we want to have Kubriel check the other close by entrance and see if it leads to the same place?
As long as we, I mean, were there any traps?
Not any we were aware of.
I didn't see any traps. It just looked like a house.
The big house?
Yes. Big house.
I mean, we could try. We could try that other entrance and see if it comes up the same way.
The stone plates extend into the other world?
Oh yeah, also that.
I didn't see them.
So pretty much as soon as you've gotten past the barrier, it's just sand.
It was like I was transported somewhere else. Not here.
Ask Laramentis if he knew a spell that was something like that, but he's busy.
Laramentis is currently casting a ritual and is ignoring you.
Ash, do you know any spells like that?
Ash breaks his attention away from the ritual and says, As the scholar has permitted me to answer you, this could be an effect of the domain of the Lich. This Lich could have the ability to make it appear as anything they want. If their magic is powerful enough.
Okay.
I am not aware of any one spell that would accomplish this. Illusion spells seem quite a normal thing, but to allow for constant and immediate teleportation, that is beyond my understanding. Normally, a single spell that lasts a very short period of time allows for such transportation, not something that is maintained as a doorway one can walk through whenever one pleases. More data would be needed.
But you think it's more likely it's an illusion than a...
If I had to guess how a creature like this might operate, that is what my guess would be.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, well, let's give this other entrance a shot. It should just be around the corner to the right there.
You're getting left behind. You're getting left behind.
Well, we'll wait until.
I realized I couldn't have switched out that spell.
You can't?
No, because my spell book is my book.
Oh.
You can't change spells without your spell book.
Whoopsie. Shot yourself in the foot there, didn't you?
I did. If it was the same thing as it used to be and that you couldn't prepare any spells, then he wouldn't have done it because it would...
But it's not. It's only switching
So for
spells.
5th edition, he would have done it.
Right.
So,
Fun.
Yep.
Zoop.
I had not thought about it playing that way.
Alright, so, you go back out over here, and what? This door, around this corner over here? What do you want to do?
Wherever. the
I believe
other-
we'll just go down that hall and turn right. There should be a just purple at the north end of that. There was last time we were there.
Yes. But you didn't go that way this time, so you go around the corner to check. Laramentis continues casting his spell.
All alone.
There is a purple wall here.
Well,
So
I'll
to say
be
we were
staying
gonna wait
behind
until he
to
was
make sure
done.
that- yeah, like the intention
I
is to
was
leave him
saying-
behind.
I will stand far enough back that I can see where I'm in this.
Yay, Jebkin. Jebkaze. Yukibo. Alright, so what are you going to do as this wall looms ahead of you, swirling purple energy?
I'll wait for. Be done.
Alright. What's the stipulation on that? Where do they have to be? Because they wandered off.
On what?
Telepathic link.
Have I finished?
Now you have, yeah.
As long as they're on the same plane.
Okay. I didn't know if they needed to be in front
Telepathic
of you.
communication.
Cool.
It was on Kubriel and the 7 of us.
Okay. Wait. What about her? Oh. Do you not
it can
want
only
her
be
included?
8 creatures.
Oh. Okay, interesting. It's okay. She's not hurt at all. It's fine. It's fine. You suddenly find yourselves hearing the thoughts of the others around you.
Well, guess we're on a party line now.
That's not creepy at all.
You do have to, like, actively think things. With
You-
clarity.
Yeah,
You're not, it's not just like a mind link that's everything transmitting.
I know.
Aw. Too bad you wouldn't hear. Look, so let's.
So yeah, as soon as I finish the spell, Laramendus does telepath to everyone. The spell is finished. We can communicate this way as long as we are on the same plane of existence.
Can I telepath to anyone specific, or does it have to be everyone at once, or no one at all?
I have to hear all of you thinking at once now.
Who was that?
Kubrick.
I'm guessing, since I've never heard them before, the tiger or the lich.
Until the spell ends, the targets can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not they have a common language. The communication is possible over any distance, though it can't extend to other planes of existence.
You
Wait, who
refer
was-
to me as Her Glorious and Beautiful Majesty, Kubriel of Cord.
Oh no.
The glorious and beautiful majesty Meow Meow of Cord.
I'm gonna step away from the tiger bait.
You find the tiger looming over you, Vendar.
Cobra.
I can smell
know-
your smug.
Your smell, you're smug.
In the head.
I
Huh,
feel
didn't know
sorry.
tigers smelled sound.
feel sorry you have the master you do. Ah.
Kaze, shut up.
So, what was through this particular entrance? Did
I
nobody
don't
go
think they've
through?
gone in yet.
Could someone go through?
Well, none of you are speaking, then I guess I will.
I mean, well, no, Raiken would
You're on a
step off
giant
Kubriel again and
Just let
ask
me
her
go
to go through again.
Telepathically?
No, Celestial.
She straightens up and says, "Yes, master," and moves forward, disappearing through the purple.
That's
I
how
will
it works.
telepath at Kubriel and say, I'm testing to see if you are indeed on the same plane of existence as us. Can you please respond?
Yes, I'm definitely still on the material plane. Although I, again, don't know where I am. Now I'm in some kind of a tomb?
So they do lead to different places.
Oh,
Or
goody.
different areas of the same place.
Tomb might be worth checking out.
There's another door.
But with Lich and all.
Are you alone? Are there any... You don't see any, like, enemies or anything?
No, I'm in a narrow hallway with a door. And some magic light.
Well, should we go check that out?
I'll get in the narrow hallway together.
Already
I
in a
kind-
narrow hallway.
I kind of like our previous option a little better, but
I mean, they have a point. The tomb does seem more likely to be closer to the Lich. But it also seems like a fucking death trap.
yeah, that second part worries me. Do we want to try possibly dispelling the barrier?
Tremendous.
I find it unlikely that I will be able to. Something like this is probably being focused from some magical item, I would imagine, which I couldn't dispel.
Alright, then house or creepy tomb?
I suppose there are probably other entrances too.
Oh.
We haven't checked those other doors.
Yes. Actually, now that you're there, you can see down this hallway this way. There we go. That just barely fit on the screen. right?
So if there's a barrier up, there's a barrier also ahead of us in the other room. With that door down there, would everyone believe that there could be a barrier there as well?
I will say that you can see that this door here is closed like the other ones around here. It seems to be the double latching wooden door. This one, while the same type of door, you can see is ajar.
I think we should check it out.
Dar, go sneak.
Thunder's gonna sneak and go check it out.
Okay, roll
Perhaps
up.
we should call Kubriel back.
Yes,
Good,
Kubriel,
20
could you come back to us?
26.
Okay. Rose says, but I'm comfortable right here.
Back, Kubriel.
I don't know what keeps happening.
Wasn't it your majestic? I don't. Sam doesn't remember the thing, but Laramentis does.
Majestic Majesty Meow Cord.
I telepath at Raiken, correcting him.
It was your majestic, beautiful grace, Kubriel of Cord.
Should we go over to Bendar?
She's padding down the hallway, sniffing the floor.
Kubriel, what are you doing?
She stops here, and she is panting into your hair.
Oh, look at her. No way.
I think you got my name wrong. Again. And she reaches out one large paw with talons extended and puts it on your shoulder and slowly grips
Bendar,
in.
please say the correct thing.
Bill, you can leave me alone now.
Slowly tightening her cat-like grip on your shoulder, her talons slowly digging through your armor into your shoulder.
Say all the majestic stuff.
Your majestic grace. What was it? Your majestic
Kubriel of Cord.
Just Kubriel of Cord. Stop it, please, now.
She tilts her head to the side and looks at you with her large yellow eyes before releasing her claw from your shoulder, then running one long sandpaper-like tongue over your face.
On the head.
That's better. She pads her way back down the hallway away, sits down, and turns to watch you.
Alright, I'll say under my breath, meow meow.
She's trying to cause trouble.
You should roll perception.
Breath and not telepathic.
Perception was really good.
That's exactly why I said it under my breath and not telepathically. Should I roll sneak?
You should definitely roll sneak to see if I don't think so.
29.
Yeah, no. She's just sitting there licking her paw and looking up at you with those large yellow eyes every now and again. You move to the doorway, having gotten your jab in, and you find that, like with the door you were at previously, one door seems completely closed and the other seems open. The one farther away from you seems open. Only, unlike before, it's not embedded in stone. And you sneak up to peer through. And that is... 20. Of course, it would probably help if I could get more of this. on the screen. Oh, now what have I done? Okay, there we go. Let's make sure that you can see it. Yes, okay. There you go. You are looking in, and what you see is a large, long, empty room with one wall is made up entirely of this purple swirling energy. You can see as Gnomish heraldry along the right and left walls seems to be swallowed up, disappears, or just suddenly ends at this wall.
So it's an empty room with a big purple wall. So yeah, there's a. True.
So you can report that
Maybe
back
that
to the
is-
group, and since you're
I'm-
telepathically linked, would you like to go in?
I'll quickly make sure there aren't any traps.
Okay, roll perception.
The passive is 25.
Okay. There don't appear to be any traps around the door.
I'll
You
step
can
in.
Safely move to here. Again, you can see that this area is long. It's made out of the stone, the same stone as the rest of the place. On the walls are several shields with coats of arms on them. As I said, along the left and right wall, these seem to end abruptly, partway through a shield at the purple wall. And on the floor, you can see that there are textiles, rugs. There's more than one covering different portions of this area. In some cases, in here, there seem to be textiles on the floor at each coat of arms, almost like this is an area to display different Gnomish family crests, and that's its specific purpose. And then there's the purple wall that swirls ominously before you.
So you said the purple wall cuts through the shields?
Yeah, it's like it's like either, they were cut so that they end at this thing, or they somehow exist on the other side of it partially.
There are rugs at the bottom of all of those, so can I grab one of the rugs that's cut through and pull it and see if it comes through or if it was like accidentally cut in half?
Sure. You can move over to here and tug on the rug there. It's a slightly larger one, but as you pull on it, more and more seems to feed out from this purple wall.
Okay. So this stuff does still exist. So I still have no idea if this is a teleporter or an illusion. It could be either.
Could be. What will you do?
Well, there's definitely another way through here. You want to send Kubriel through it?
Yes. Gabriel, could you one more time walk through the purple barrier that's in the 2?
But he was rude to me.
I think you proved your point.
Not rude. It's a loving gesture. Because you're adorable.
She pushes the closed door open into the room and overshadows you. She seems to sniff you out and says, "I don't find it cute." And then she disappears through the barrier.
eat me one day.
One day soon. Ooh, food!
What?
There's
Food.
food here. And people.
Well,
But most importantly, food.
people. What do people look like?
There's so much food. There's like some kind of poultry. There's lots of fish. And sauces. They smell spicy. I don't like spicy.
Talk about the people.
What do the people look like?
The people have food. They look like they're enjoying the food.
Do they look
Thing
like
people?
they'll give you food?
They're ignoring me. They won't give me their food. I can't scare them. I don't like them.
Touch them?
No. This is weird. I don't like it. She reappears.
Seems more like an illusion. Now.
Well,
I went through the barrier. The
Thank
food
you,
wasn't
Kubriel.
real. I'm very upset. Give me food.
Right. If you walk through it, I wonder if the wall is still there, even though it shows a big open area. Maybe you can feel across the wall, see if there's something somewhere.
I don't understand what that voice said.
I think he's meaning the wall that's...
So if you walk in, go directly to one side until you slowly, so you don't hit your head. And
I mean, right now you can't see that, but...
Well,
it's
no, you
not
can't
over
s-
there.
Oh.
But it was a big open space. It was outside. I think it was a
Maybe.
celebration.
Might be an illusion.
Well, that's even if I don't see the size of the room, Raiken, I could still know that it's a room, even though I'm not in there.
Try standing up against the wall and crossing the barrier and seeing if you can.
Still feel the wall.
Right, yeah.
Freedom! So, you want me to walk through the purple and then try to find a wall?
See the
Well, and then
wall.
try to go to the right.
I want extra food.
Think that the food is the wall, and Raiken's standing in your way, and you need to see if you can get to it.
I don't like that voice. It's nothing, it's open. We're on like a hilltop or something. I don't know. There's a lake. I'm going to the lake. Ow. I can't go to the lake.
Why?
Illusion.
There's something in my way. I can't see it.
Like an invisible barrier?
I don't know. I can't. There's a lake there, but I can't go there. I hurt myself. Give me food.
The walls definitely do still exist, and you
Or
can't see them.
something stopping them. Yeah.
But there's water down there. I want it.
It's a lie.
I don't like that.
Lich is lying to you.
Are you
It
gonna come
matters.
in here or what?
Go in there.
I'm done with this. Give me food. She says directly to you.
Hey, let's go back to Yukikaze. He's got the box with all the food in it.
Are you going to lead the way?
Back to Yukikaze.
Well, yeah. He probably says that without me telepathing it, right?
I don't know. If he's saying it to her, he's got to telepath it, which means you can hear it.
Here.
Oh yeah. I guess it's Kubriel diddly ass. I'll give him something out on the bento box.
Food.
I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have been satisfied with rations that I don't even have on me, so...
Where did you put all your rations? On the wagon?
They're heavy, man.
Hopefully that wagon's still there when you get back. I mean, so...
But I'd be much... I'd be sad, more sad about the gunpowder that we left on the wagon.
Oh yeah, by the way, Tristan, could I would have done this before we left, and I
Reloaded the thunder gun and then strapped it on? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I will have reloaded my musket as well.
Yep. Are you carrying any extra shot with you?
Carry one more,
Okay, so you've got 2
So-
extra powder charges and 2 extra shot bags.
yeah,
So you can fire it a total of twice.
yeah.
Okay. And Vendor?
I believe I still have, yes, I have 19 of each, so I can fire at plenty.
Okay. That is 10 pounds of stuff. Oh no. 5 pounds. Yeah, 10 pounds total. 5 pounds of each. Yeah, I got that right. I had it right the first time. Just so you're aware. 10 pounds of stuff.
According to the sheet, 20 is 4 pounds for the bullets. That's why I don't see the... in here, so maybe I need to add
20
that.
is 1/4, so it should be 5 pounds. 5 times 4 is 20. They're each
The sheet
1/4
says
pound.
that with 19 it's 3.8 pounds.
Right. Well, their charges are lighter than mine, and they don't have powder.
So how do I change the weight then?
You should be able to override it. But the ammunition,
Alright, so
the
you said
ammunition for mine is 2-part. And it's 1/4 for each part. And so with 20 shots total, that's 5 pounds of one and 5 pounds of the other. With 19 of each, it's just under that. Okay.
Can I not do halves on this?
I do not know. I don't know. I haven't tried to mess with weights before. I just know what my shit weighs.
Can't do halves on this, so I'll just set it to 3 pounds.
Okay.
So it's 6 pounds, it's on the sheet. For 10. So.
Okay.
Something for the gunpowder, because...
It's 1/4 pound for the gunpowder, and it's 1/4 pound for the shot.
Just because the bullets, like, they were just in my inventory, like, you would put them there, but
Yeah.
there isn't gunpowder in there like that. So.
Right, I'm aware. Because the way they created it in their system, they didn't have those as separate things.
Okay, so should I just add it to the gunpowder to the bullet then?
Yeah, I mean, just double up your bullets. And just know that you're using 2 each time. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because the bullets and the powder weigh the same. So if you just double the bullets, you just know that every time you fire it, just mark off 2. And then you'll have the weight correct. Okay. So, Mr. I can detect magic. Can you detect magic? You can, right? Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore. You can't. Never
I
mind.
had to cast a ritual.
That's right. You did. And detect magic is only 10 minutes on its own, isn't it?
Yep.
That's silly. So you were never actually in a position to know anything about these barriers. Sucks to be you.
But it might be worth it. I mean, it seems that it is illusory, which is going to be fun without true sight.
Who needs true sight?
We do. Badly.
It's like what Iron Eyes says. It's better to know how someone is trying to manipulate you than to block out their manipulation entirely.
I think you could argue that true sight lets you actually do that.
I don't think so, because I think true sight, you can't see the illusion at all anymore. You're just not aware of it.
I don't know. Either way, it's like a 7th level spell. Like
That's 6th.
6th.
True Seeing is 6th level. I've used it once.
Still, not till next level. Could you have access to it? You'd have to be at least level 11. So, what are you gonna do? Kubriel's munching on the food out of Yukikaze's bag. You all find that you're pretty hungry.
I mean, Raiken will, I guess, eat a ration.
Raiken can eat a ration. Mark off a ration.
Can I just have some food from the bento box, Yukikaze?
Yeah, I'll divvy out some food for people.
The purple barrier continues to just swirl ominously. You're about 15 minutes into your hour-long telepathy. So, you all eat from the bento box. Kubriel keeps trying to sneak more portions.
No.
You feel good after that. Now what?
Well,
Alright, what are
I
we
suggest
going
we
to
pick a
do?
door and go through it. If we're not going to try and dispel it.
It's like they're all gonna be awful. So
One more time.
Vendar?
they're all gonna be awful. So you know.
I vote possibly going through the room on the far right. Mostly because it is the smallest room of the portion we can see, so perhaps there's less illusion to get through.
Unless there's a giant pitfall right in front of her at the end of it.
Then again, with me trying to put
if that's
panels
the
where I
case-
can't see, there's no telling what effects that might have had.
We have rope or something?
There was
Like,
a pit there. I believe that Jevel's detection of traps would have let us know about that.
Doesn't he have to
And I
cast that
probably would have made a
He
bridge
did
over it
that
with the
room
stone.
the first time.
Not only work when he did it, in the
Did it? I don't actually remember the
He said it
Stipulations.
detected 4 traps. Or 2 traps, I don't know. I think it
I
was,
believe you said 4.
yeah. And he knew they were generally in front of him, so inside the room.
Right, because
But
one of the
also-
monsters.
I think it only lets you detect on squares you can see.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I wasn't
Detect
sure
traps
that was,
is
that was
Yeah.
part of it.
Can you confirm that for me, Jebel?
detect traps is line of sight,
There you go.
and it doesn't really indicate where they are.
Yeah. But it means if they were behind any kind of shielding from sight, that you wouldn't be able to detect them.
Guys,
yeah.
do you think this will work? What if I like see if my sword or bleeder, if I set it on the ground, if I see it, and maybe I keep tossing it in front of me, and if it disappears, I know not to go that way and have it reappear to me. Would that work?
It would be slow going.
It's a thought. That's all I got right now. It's a way to move forward through the illusions. It's an option, I mean. Or at least if it seems reasonable.
If we were doing that, it could be just as easy to cast prestidigitation to make a small item and drop it from waist height. It'll only last for the turn, but that should be long enough to tell if it's going to hit ground that's at the same level.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about prestidigitation that utilized that way.
Well, it would go faster than the sword at least, and 3 of us can do it.
Do that.
So, that sounds reasonable. Which of the 3 entrances did we want? We wanted the one on the right? Let's go.
I like that one because it's smallest of what we can see, so it might be the least amount of illusion to get through. Not to mention it had other traps which we've already avoided, so it might have needed less protection.
There are also 2 more doors down the hallway to the right that might well have more barriers behind them.
We could check those as well, since there's also no telling what my trying to put walls of stone in places I couldn't see did. So there might not even be a door we can open on the other side, because it might be, well, blocked up.
Should be difficult if we then couldn't see it.
Yep.
Isn't a good choice.
Well,
there's only one way to find out.
Um,
By this shit.
and let's put 2 people in, see if they actually see each other. We haven't tried that.
Of course, there is the one where these other 2 didn't seem to have traps in front of them. That is the only one that had a trap before the...
Which is why it's the one I would prefer to use. But I may have made that impossible.
Door, I point to the door that's like right in front of us, on the right wall there.
Nobody has yet tried to open it.
Get out. Like, check for traps and if it's locked and stuff.
So we're going this way.
He wants to check.
Right on the right
door
that we're like
right.
right next to.
Oh, okay.
I want to see what's in it.
Sorry, I was hearing about doors further to the right, and I just kept hearing the word right, so I thought that's where we were looking. Fine.
Not 20. Shitty. Perception.
Check for traps.
That's 30 perception.
Alright. You check over the door, and you find that it is locked. You find that there is a strange, set of rotating portions on it. Everything is marked in Gnomish.
Come read this.
You gonna go over there, Jebel?
Did he actually say my name?
I think it just got cut off.
Hey, Jebel, come read this.
Okay. And I will wander over.
Okay. You find that there is a set of dials on this door. Then when you rotate them, there are a bunch of, different letter dials that you can dial in and numbers. And on the door itself is written in Gnomish what appears to be a riddle.
This looks like a fun door.
Are you going to read it out loud?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You translate it into common for them. It says, "It came before my father, before me, and it follows shortly after here too.
I am pissed at myself that I don't remember this one. I've had to answer this before.
Can I have this written down so I can...
Fuck off.
Fine.
Three. Answer's three.
What the fuck? I just clicked. What? I don't know what the hell just happened. I clicked on Discord so that I could send DM to Jebel, and it opened up a web page.
No, you missed Discord. It opened up.
Did I?
Because it opened up Chrome.
I mean, it did open up Chrome. I just don't know why. Considering this was all that was here. Where would I have clicked on Chrome? I clicked right here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. There you go, Jebel. Ooh, somebody's got thunder.
Yep, that would be me.
Ah, jealous.
What is that noise?
That's my text notification. It's the chime from Star Trek. The door chime.
So you've all heard this strange sentence that Jebel rattled off.
It's a riddle.
Yep.
Riddle.
So is any character going to attempt to answer it after he says it?
I think the answer's three.
Entered into the group chat.
Sure.
I can do that if you want.
So Cyrus says this to the group. So, Jebel, you see that there are these dials that you can dial in any letter from the Gnomish alphabet in for up to like a, 14 character word. Also on these dials are numbers.
We could also try knock.
I could try using my magic lockpicks
I gesture to the door,
and see if they work.
and then I back away as he approaches.
You go and use your lockpicks.
Yes, I will attempt to use my magic lockpicks on the door.
Okay. You hear, after a few moments of waving your lockpicks in front of the mechanism, a lurch and click inside, but nothing else happens.
Try to open the door.
How?
Not have a handle?
No.
Just push.
I will try to push it.
Well, right, roll strength.
Oh, I got a 1.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
This one bigger should try
This door
pushing
is
it.
incredibly heavy. Seems to be made of stone.
Guys want to try?
Raiken will crack his knuckles.
Okay.
Be good. Please, the strength always go well.
You can do it.
Ah!
Complete faith. in you.
23.
Alright, you heave and you huff and you push against the door, and after many seconds of this, nothing has happened. The door is not moving.
Maybe we should try 3.
Solve the riddle. Why do you think the answer is 3?
It follows shortly after 2.
Oh. Okay, let's try 3.
Okay, I put in 3.
It's not it follows shortly after 2, it's that it follows shortly after here 2.
You spin the dials until it reads the number 3 in
I got
Gnomish. And you hear several more mechanisms moving behind the door, and suddenly it begins slowly grinding its way up into the ceiling, opening a portal for you.
Was it 4?
Because it comes before 4. And after 2.
It came before my father, forefather, and heretofore.
Heretofore? No, it's before 4.
What's the room look like?
Right.
Open, you said?
The door opens and reveals a room. It reveals a room, doesn't it? Right.
What is on the other side of this room?
This will be interesting.
Yeah, after the door goes up, Jabu just stands there and goes, I don't get it.
I mean, I gave you my reasoning.
Me and it worked, so seems to be right.
I have cash.
Yeah.
Do I have a second to go get some nuts? I need more nuts.
I couldn't remember.
What?
I can remember.
I think it's 4. It's forefather and heretofore. I'm trying to figure out how 3. We can talk about it later.
Alright, so, a very large room. Yeah, with more suits of armor along the walls.
I wonder if any of them are magic.
And in this gap here, you see what appears to be a large, well, actually, you've seen them before. It looks like a large clock face, and you can hear the grinding of gears moving the hands on it. Although this has a hand you've never seen before, a third hand on this face, and it's moving very quickly.
Am I allowed to guess what I know that to be?
Why would your character know?
Because he can count?
Count what?
What, are seconds just not invented in the world or something?
They're a smaller increment than most people use. people barely deal in hours in the world. They mostly care if it's afternoon before noon and how close to sunset it is.
Fair enough.
Amanda's gonna go walk over to the clock.
It's a wonder of technology. You can't see any of the gears that are driving it, but you can hear them.
Fascinating.
You can see a swinging pendulum beneath it, and you can hear the clicking of something beyond. And of course, this one quickly sweeping arm that is not normal to clocks you've seen in the past. Otherwise, it has very much the appeal of most of the technology of this place. It seems to be a brass or copper construction. There is the affectation around the clock face is that of a large spur gear. And on the clock's face itself, there appears to be a image, as if carved into the face, of what looks to be a great mountain rising over the plains, and you can see what looks to be a larger-than-life gnome standing atop it and smiling, as there are small points on it, which you imagine might represent humanoids, moving up the mountain, and a very definite line around where those humanoids stop, and there are points above that appear to be regimented factions holding them back.
Seems special.
You don't say.
Say 3 on the clock. Maybe it will do something. When does the clock read?
What time does the clock say?
The clock seems to read 6:15.
A long wait.
And you can see that behind or rather, next to the smiling gnome at the top, there is an image of a sun, which is moving barely perceptibly. It seems to be on a different panel than he is.
Ask Ash what time he thinks it is.
Ash looks to you and then looks at the clock and then thinks a moment and says, "This should be accurate, scholar."
Fascinating.
I don't usually bother to count the smaller increments, but the minutes seem correct.
I wonder how long this has been ticking for.
500 years? The Sion offers.
Oh, the rest of this
That's
place is anything to go by. The undead have probably been looking after this thing too.
So, do we want to bother to see if any of this armor is magic?
Seems unlikely. It doesn't look like this like an armory. It looks like decor.
I'm going to go poke my head into the purple.
Okay.
And I think I'll do the same so I can see if I can see Laramindus on the other side.
Okay. You walk up to the purple swirling barrier. And again, as always, it ominously swishes its magic energy before you. You can feel the power of its arcane energy pulsing at you as you approach. And carefully, you push your face through it. You others watch as half of Laramenda's body disappears through the barrier as he leans in. Cyrus as well. And you feel similar to when you use Dimension Door, that tumbling and loss of balance sensation as though you're being pulled into another dimension. You should roll a con save.
I got an 8.
You got an 8. And Cyrus?
Got a 20.
20.
Because I
So
have
you
ridiculous
also
con.
feel this disorientation, but you manage to keep yourself grounded. Larmundus, you find you've lost your balance and you fall forward through the barrier. And you find yourself tumbling in oblivion for the briefest of moments before hitting solid ground, but it isn't stone. It seems to be carpeted wood. You open your eyes, and the world, still somewhat spinning around you, resolves into a candlelit room. Outside, you see the stars of a night sky. Very clearly not the same time of day as you just were at. The floor, of course, is attached to what looks to be 4 walls, and you find yourself tumbled in through what appears to be an open doorway. And it looks like... how to describe this? It looks like a Victorian home.
Okay.
Like Victorian era.
Yeah.
The decor and everything matches.
Do the stars look like the stars in the same area that we are?
If you pick yourself up and move over to the window, you can check.
Okay.
You notice as you do so that Cyrus is very oddly clipped through a window. Just a portion of his body, his head, down to his shoulders.
That's disconcerting.
Yeah.
I say at Cyrus, and then move over to the window.
Cyrus, you see the same scene, and you see Laramendas begin walking about this room.
Do I see myself clipped through a window?
You look down and notice that you are in a wall, yes.
That is a bit disconcerting.
What do you do?
I step in and then see if the wall's like solid once I'm no longer part of it.
Yes.
It's solid?
Yes.
Oh no.
How do you mean?
I think he means does it...
No, your hand passes through it.
Okay, that's what I meant.
It appears to be solid.
Yes, it looks solid.
Okay. Minor heart attack there. This is odd. Have you seen something like this before?
Have I?
This being directed, Larmundus.
Yeah, it's an illusion. It's on a scale you've never before witnessed.
I try to disbelieve it.
You try to disbelieve it. You find that even though you know it's an illusion, you cannot penetrate it with your mind. There's something else to it, something more than simple illusion. Something giving it not form and function, but gravitas.
Ash,
Yes, scholar.
are you familiar with the types of illusion magics that might have this effect?
You could combine magics to affect something like this, but the mastery of the different schools would be beyond any single person I've ever traveled with. Perhaps
Clearly,
one
Lich.
such as a 500-year-old Lich would be able to tell you more about it.
We'll see if they're willing to share their knowledge.
As a Lich of Vecna, I believe they will not be willing to share much. I am sorry,
That
scholar.
is likely, but
What if we try and read their mind?
I'm not sure I want to gaze into that abyss.
I would imagine that anybody that powerful has taken steps to protect themselves against such an intrusion.
So, are the stars the same stars that are in this area of the world? At the window?
Roll your intelligence, roll history. No.
Today's not my day. So, I have like plus 9. That's a 12.
A 12?
Yeah.
You don't see any constellations you recognize.
Okay. Is this wall solid?
Huh?
This wall?
The one that he came through, or a different one?
The one that I went to the window of to look at the stars.
Oh, yes.
And does it feel like wood or does it feel like stone?
It feels like stone.
I'm gonna ask, did you find a wall?
Yes.
Perhaps
And
we
it
should.
feels like stone, like the area outside of the illusion.
Are you communicating out loud or in telepathy?
Telepathy.
Okay. Then everybody else is aware of what's being said, even though you can't see what's going on.
Perhaps we should try and find a door by following the wall?
Very well. I'm going to keep my hand on the wall and do the prestidigitation trick to create an item, drop it in front of me,
Okay.
to see if it falls farther than, like, where I am.
It seems to bounce off the floor as far as you can see it as you move farther and farther in. Eventually you come to another wall of the room. Are you going to try and push through it?
And for the record, I'll be following as
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
like closely behind.
You push through it. It presents no resistance. The wall seems to swirl as of fairy dust in your eyes as it dissipates around you and then reforms behind you. You find that you are out in a swelteringly hot desert. You feel sweltering heat.
And there's still a wall to my right.
Behind you, to your right, you still feel a wall.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But behind you, you find that the wall of the building has become open desert.
And is there anything on my right that would explain a wall, or does it look like it's completely open desert and I'm just feeling the wall in the
You're just feeling an invisible wall in the middle of this open plain.
Okay. I'm now in a desert, I say to telepathy.
You feel the heat of the desert. It is uncomfortable. The
It's
sun is
uncomfortable.
beating down on you.
Shall I continue, or do we want to be together?
Perhaps together would be best if we're deciding to actually push through this room entirely.
I mean, that question is directed to the rest of the party.
And I'm just giving my 2 cents on the.
I am trying to get 2 cents out of the rest of them.
Ah, sorry.
We should probably proceed together. all that.
Do we want to tie a rope to each other?
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I have a couple 50-foot ropes.
We also have an infinite length rope, as long as we don't cut it.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
If somebody wants to hold the box.
Well, that means the last person's gonna be holding the box, right?
Or the first person.
Or
It
the
also
first
means we
person.
can easily get everyone out of the rope by cutting it. And then having it disappear.
So who wants to hold the box?
Probably someone with some strength or something.
It's a small box, isn't it?
I think it weighs
I
about
can't
5
remember.
pounds.
Yeah, I would be willing to.
So are you going to make your way back?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way back to that point in the desert, and it converts back into a house, and you once again feel the coolness of the shade. It is most odd the way this magic functions. It doesn't prohibit your movement, but it creates other sensory effects.
And I couldn't disbelieve the heat.
You find that whatever it is, it's too realistic for your mind.
But in reality, it's a bunch of fire monsters licking your skin.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're not taking damage yet. Yet.
Before we go further, I will say it is 10:48.
It's true. It is quite late, actually. So, you have moved yourselves through the purple barrier for the first time.
Yet also the fourth time.
None of Kubriel's count.
We've gone through. Two of the squishiest
Oh,
characters were the
Kubriel's
ones
count.
to roll sin.
Yep,
Oh,
all
I-
people with D6 dice.
I made a suggestion. You voted me out. So,
What suggestion?
be tossing my sword.
Oh no, I was doing my modification of that.
Well, I know, but you're saying, oh, we set 2 squishies in there. It's like, well, I made an offer, so you know.
Yeah, but you were taking 1 minute per 5 feet, which took 6 seconds.
I'm not saying it was better. I'm just saying.
Alright. Good job. All of you can take 200 experience.
Woo! Almost 200.
200.
Good stuff. Alright. I better get out of Sam's hair so that he can go to sleep for work.
Get out of his house.
Yeah.
You're not moved in yet. You mean driving home?
Yeah, I gotta drive back.
That's 30 minutes?
40.
20.
Could be worse, but could be better.
Yeah, it could be, you know, right outside the door.
Sam's gonna hear a knock on his door every day, and he's gonna be like, son of a bitch.
Alright. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
I'm
Good
gonna
night.
head out
See you
now
next
as
week.
well.
Alright.
Good night.
Night.